Welcome to Comedy Hub on Wednesdays. Today, the only thing we've got going on is this awesome ass podcast called Dustin's Vinyl. Well, here's your host, Dustin Chafin.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Such a weird intro. I love it. This awesome ass podcast. That's right. Let's make it very wrestling today. We're gonna get you with some music. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Dustin's Vinyl. Are you out there, Twitchers? Put down the joystick, and I'm not talking about your video game, and watch and listen to this great Heyo podcast on Twitch Live here on Comedy Hub. So I hope you guys are having a great week. Hope you're enjoying yourself. I'm still in LA, enjoying this wonderful city. Los Angeles has so many cool things to see. There's so much history, and you can't run out of record stores in this town. I got to go to, I never say it right, Amoeba record store. I went in there today, and it's such a cool store, and I think it's the perfect record store. And because you could show the inside picture as well. If you look inside, it's huge. It has such a good selection of records and CDs and tapes and T-shirts, and it's really a great experience. It reminds me of just some other record stores growing up. But I feel like what's cool about this record store is some record stores like to kind of, they don't want to do re-releases. They just want to do I love the re-releases because it's like it just kind of expands the collection. Because it's so hard to go in when you go into a record store and you don't have something that you really specifically want that you want to own on. There's only so many Dark Side of the Moons that are still out there. So it's like great when people reissue records like that. So it's really cool. And because it reminds me of Tower Records, which was a big deal. I'm sure Jeff's going to jump on this later when we talk about it. It was a big deal in New York City. Tower Records was kind of one of these record stores that you could spend hours in, and they really really opened you up to music, and you could just kind of like find music while you were in there. Even if you were looking for something specific, you would find something else. And I just love all the old school record stores when we were growing up. Camelot Music was a big deal in Texas. It was always something you would find in a mall. There was a Camelot Music was one of the record stores. And so it was great. There was just something great about going in and sifting through and all that stuff, and just finding the new releases and then finding old stuff that maybe you didn't have. And one thing that we, before there was Amazon, before you could actually, records were free back in the day. There was, you could get free records in the mail. It was this thing called Columbia House. Records and tapes, and you were supposed to pay for them, but nobody ever did. And you would literally, you kids are out there, you don't know how great this was. It was usually in what we call this thing called a TV guide. It was before or a Rolling Stone magazine or something like that. And it was like a little thing, a tear out thing that they would have like a postmark thing on the back. So you would fill it out and then you would put it in the mail. And it was basically, you would get 12 CDs or 12 albums or 12 tapes for a penny or a dollar, whatever it was. There was BMG, there was Columbia House, and it was the greatest thing ever. And you would just send it in, and they start sending you records and tapes and albums, and it was phenomenal. And you would just and your parents were always like, "What did you get that?" And you're like, "Oh, I just sent off for it and whatever." And nobody ever, you were supposed to buy one eventually, but nobody ever bought one. And I remember one time I had a job at it was like an office thing, and I was the mailroom clerk, and I had a buddy of mine, and we had an operation going at the same time. We literally had like 20 different names going on these Columbia House records. So we were in the mailroom, so we got just tons of CDs, and we were just getting them in the mail, and we were just like opening them up, and like from different names. We were all getting it sent to the same PO box. It was a lot of fun. So that's how we stole CDs back in the 80s. But it was a lot of fun. And it's kind of to open up with that, and I love this new record store, and looks like Adam has a shirt on, so very excited. So This month, Jeff and I decided to do Soundtrack Month, and this is very cool theme. We're going to do more themes as we go on. We're going to do debut albums and stand-up comedy albums, and we're going to keep going with themes because I'm a big theme guy. And so I'm going to grab a couple of Dustin pulls here, my personal collection. I'm a huge fan of James Bond, and I love all the James Bond. I don't know if you get a spotlight on that. There we go. But the James Bond albums are great. This is a really good one. This is Live and Let Die. It's got the obviously Paul McCartney and the Wings version of that on here, and I love all the kind of the guitar licks, kind of that spy music is really cool, and a lot of great tracks on this. So this is a really cool one. If you get, I'm trying to collect all of the James Bond ones. I think that it's a great soundtrack to have in your collection, and this is another one. Is probably, I think, one of the best blues albums of all time, and it's got Crossroads, which is a really cool soundtrack. This is Steve Vai does exceptional work on this album. It's so good. It's got a lot of Ry Cooder, whole bunch of really cool stuff on here. Muddy Waters as well. Willie Green, really cool stuff. So this Crossroads, this is a great movie too. If you've ever seen it, it's all about selling and playing for the devil kind of thing. Devil's gonna get your soul if you can't outplay him kind of thing. And just a really cool Ralph Macchio. Can't go wrong with the Mach. And this is a really cool album. And it's if you love your music, blues, and all that cool stuff, you're gonna dig this album. So get you some Crossroads and some James Bond soundtracks. And so that's my opening. I hope you guys are paying attention and hanging in there. Give us some questions. We love questions here on the show, Dustin's Vinyl. And as we're talking, feel free to talk about whatever we're kind of chime in on whatever we're talking about. And we appreciate any interaction with you guys because this is a fan-based show because it's music. And without fans, there's no music. And so I'm going to bring in my co-host, two of my favorite guys. We're going to bring in Jeffrey Paul, Adam Holtz. What's up, guys? How
Hello,
are you doing?
Dustin.
Hey, Dustin.
Feel like we just hung out. What's going on?
Was there ever a better feeling than coming home and seeing that box by your mailbox of Columbia CDs?
So it was such a, I don't know how they made money because I feel like, it was just like giveaways, I guess, for the artist, but it was phenomenal.
I think you had a year to buy like 3 at regular price.
How funny would it be if if they really started to crack down on that, like you try to get a house and they're like, well, we were going over your credit.
Ruined your credit rating.
Yeah. Apparently in 87, that Sugar Cubes CD kind of put you over the edge.
Yeah, Dustin, you had to get Vanilla Ice, right? You had to be experimental.
No Vanilla Ice. But I did do some Milli Vanilli. I'm not going to lie. I did like Milli Vanilli.
They were fun. I could also, that Amoeba place looks insane.
Amoeba, that's how you say it, Amoeba.
Yeah, that looks like. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a great record store. It's like it's got such a great layout, and how
much time did you spend in there?
Well, it's a couple of days. I'm pretty close. It's pretty close to my house, so I don't spend like hours and hours. I just because my time's kind of limited. I got a lot of shit going on, but I'll go. But it's a great break because I live right next to one snooty tooty record store where they don't have any re-releases. It's all like
current stuff,
used stuff. No, it's all used stuff.
Oh, used. Okay.
Yeah. And so, but the other one is like, it's got everything. It's just fun. It's got the shirts and the thing. And it reminds you of New York, wherever you'd walk into a record store in New York, like Bleecker Bob's and stuff, and have the posters and the CDs and the thing. And it has that energy to it. And so it's like, I really enjoy it. But
I used to go to the Tower Records downtown.
Yeah.
And, or the other, what was the other place down in the financial district by City Hall? What was that place called?
I don't remember.
Oh my God!
I just remember Bleecker Bob's, Millennial Records.
J&R.
J&R.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a chain.
And I could spend hours. I mean, I would go in there sometimes at noon and walk out at like 5 and still feel I didn't have enough time.
Yeah, that's the beauty of record stores, and it's just like, I hope people still go out and buy vinyl. And so yeah, chime in, guys, if you have do you have a favorite record store? Where do you live? Why, it's like, do you still go to record stores? I feel like it's an art form, and it's in and of itself. And Jeff, you had a record store. Tell us about that.
I did. I actually how I put myself through college. I opened up a record. So I started working in a record store, and I did the ordering, and I ran the whole place. And I said I could do this myself. And I had some money saved up for a car and money to go on spring break. And my dad said, well, if I take that money, invested in the store, he'd match what I invested in. I would have to pay him back. And I opened up a small store, and then within about a year and a half, I expanded. And
nice.
And I would have bands come down. I had Twisted Sister come down and do a record signing when Stay Hungry came out. So nice. It was really, really cool, man. I loved it. And then from there, that's how I wound up. I had eventually graduated college, and I wound up getting a job in A&R for Columbia Records.
Nice.
And then they went out of business because guys like Dustin wouldn't pay for his music.
And you could literally tape a penny to the thing. That was, I don't know if you know that. I don't know if anybody realizes that. Yes. But this is the funniest part about the whole thing. Was you could literally tape a penny to the little postcard that you put in the mail to send it.
That's exactly right. Well, that's exactly right.
So I think they made their money because they would send you those postcards every month, and if you didn't send it back, you would get stuck with that CD of the month for about $20.
That's right.
Yeah, but nobody paid exactly that, though.
Right.
Nobody paid it.
I never paid it. I would send it back.
Bill you for it, though.
Yeah, they would bill you, and I would just said return to sender right on the box and send it back.
Adam, I remember one time they did that to me with the Eurythmics albums I didn't want. And I was like bugging out. I was like, now I got this dumb Eurythmics album. I don't want it. And then like my parents, like my mom was just like, we're just gonna pay it. Just stop with that. Also, the other thing up top, the James Bond albums, man. Yeah, you're right. So that's so important to those films. And I think that my two favorite James Bond theme songs are definitely Live and Let Die is classic.
Yeah.
And I love Duran Duran's View to a Kill.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
The White Stripes did one a little later. Or was he by himself? I'm not sure if it was
what did they cover?
They didn't cover. He did a Bond song. Can you look that up?
I didn't know.
Because by himself, I don't know. But anyway, it was really good.
Did you like the movies?
Yeah, I love the movies, man. I still love the movies. I love them all. I've never seen a Bond film I didn't really like. I can find something great about all of them. I really enjoy them all. I love all the Bonds. I'm not like one of these guys. I mean, I love Roger Moore because he was funny. I love Sean Connery because he was like, he seemed like a real, he's cool. Really doing those like scenes and stuff. And then, yeah, it's just like Daniel Craig. I like too. I think he's great.
So it was Jack White with Alicia Keys.
Okay,
off of Quantum of Solace. It was Another Way to Die.
Very cool. Yeah, that's I remember that being a great song.
Cool titles too.
Yeah.
Another Way to Die.
Something Die. They take Die. Yes. I think there's like 5 of them that are all dies.
Shirley Bassey with Goldfinger.
But the music, like that's the opening when it's like dun 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 dun, and that the whole thing, that thing. I don't know what it is. What is that? Is it like a scope? What is that in the beginning? That the thing, the red, it turns red.
It was
what is it? What is it?
A scope.
It's a scope, right?
Where you shoot out of, right?
Yeah.
And then it'd be the shot, and then the blood would come down, and then the graphics would come. Really bad graphics, compared to now. And then that James Bond music would come in, like Diamonds Are Forever. That's the one that always comes to mind.
That's a solid song, yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Anybody
great.
have a favorite? The James Bond song? Anybody? Is anybody listening? Is anybody out there?
We got a bunch of comments. We got for the record stores. Let's see. Don't Rush At You All says, I've been to the one in Berkeley, best record store I've ever been to. I think that was
Amoeba Records. There's a bunch of them. I have no idea.
There's a couple in San Francisco. This one here is closed. This is the one from I think this was the first LA one.
Okay.
And that's they didn't open after or they closed down for the pandemic. They haven't reopened. I think they're not reopening.
Okay.
And there's
Amoeba. I can't say that word. I'm from Texas.
Amoeba.
Amoeba. It's a very hard word for me.
Great.
Amoeba.
It's a great logo too.
Yeah, it's all right. The record store is fantastic. I don't like that logo.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Dustin on this one, Adam.
I don't know. That's
all right.
That's kind of a throwback.
No Dustin's vinyl. Yeah.
Let's see. Mir Pre said there's a collector store in Anaheim, has records, games, comics. I'll see if I can find the name. Haven't been there in years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check that out. Anaheim, that's where Disneyland is, right? I gotta expand. I'm just like, I'm in Hollywood. I haven't really gone too far out of Hollywood. So I'm definitely we want to go to Disneyland, but I think it's like takes you 2 days just to stay in line. But definitely want to check out more places. San Francisco, I bet there's really good record stores there. Very cool. Anything else? As we have a lull here.
Yeah, I think it's
I was waiting for you there.
I thought we had more. You said we got comments. I was like, let them come in. Let them all come in. And they were like, nope, that's it.
We got somebody.
James Bond.
He said, well, Crossroads is so good, and they're still waiting on some 007. Still waiting on some comments about Bond.
Yeah, Crossroads. Get this album. It's kind of hard to find. I looked on it. I got this for like $1, and like once in a while, you go into a place that sells lamps and shit, and like thrift stores are the best places to look for vinyl because it's like they don't even know what they have. I found like Beatles albums that are worth like $100. Like nobody had any idea. They just had somebody just dropped off their grandma's music or whatever, and it's like there's some great stuff. So definitely hit thrift stores.
I never saw that movie.
Oh, it's a good movie. It's good, man. Steve Vai's actually in it, and he's playing, man. It's fantastic. Yeah, he plays the devil, and he's just phenomenal.
Oh, shit. I got to check this movie out.
Yeah,
that's on my short list right now.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a really good movie. But that soundtrack's fantastic.
So speaking of good movies and good soundtracks, you ready to get into today's
nice. Good transition, buddy. There you go.
I'm the king. You know, they call me the king of segues.
Do they call you that? I don't know. That's what they call
you. As far back as high school, I was voted boy most likely to segue. And
you have a beautiful tan. Where'd you get that tan, man? You were at the beach?
It's not a tan. I think it's just my shitty lighting in this room.
I look so white compared to you. Jeez.
You got your lights on 11. I got my lights on probably. I got this one.
There we go.
There you go.
There you go. Look more brown. There we go.
There you go. Now you look very fleshy.
Oh, here we got a Bond song here. Happy Mischief says the Adele song was good. Don't know the name of it though. And
I think that was pretty good.
Yeah, Adele's great. I have no problem with her. I think she's good.
From Mir Pre, Sheryl Crow, Tomorrow Never Dies.
That's a good one. Not a big Sheryl Crow fan, but that's a good one.
Yeah. She's all right.
I saw her live and she turned me off. Like some bands, it's the opposite. You see them live, you're like, this is the greatest band ever. And then I saw her live. It's like, I think I'll stick to the radio for her.
Really? Yeah. Why? What was that?
Just, it was funny.
Never seen her.
Well, this was interesting. Sometimes you got to be careful who your opener is. Her opener was Lenny Kravitz. Lenny can get down. Lenny can get down. And
he has
so
the
it's
songs
like,
too.
Yeah, and he was pretty popular at the time too. And so it was like interesting that she had him open. And I was like, that's a bad choice. That's a strong choice. Yeah. It's like I wouldn't want to follow, Cat Williams. You know what I mean? Like there's certain people you just it's like they're a little beyond what you're doing. And so, but yeah, she's a great songwriter and she's good. She definitely
was it a co-headliner tour?
Not really. He was opening.
The main draw. He was just the opener.
He was a little bigger. She had come out with All I Want to Do or whatever. So that whatever that album was.
Have some fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was huge. She was gigantic for a little while. And then I think the Kid Rock song was big or whatever. So she was,
it was a great one.
She was flying high. And then I think Kravitz is, who knows how people open. Sometimes I've seen that a lot where big bands open for other bands and, they're friends or who knows how these things happen.
Yeah. I mean, there was a
same
weird
record label, you don't know.
There was a weird tour a couple of years ago. It was Lionel Richie and Mariah Carey. Mariah was the opener, which that has to be just out of friendship.
Lionel, yeah. Lionel's paid his dues though, man. Lionel's paid his dues. I wouldn't want to follow Mariah, but
they're both phenomenal, as far as being headliner.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think Mariah Carey, she probably respects him too. Or she's
exactly. Maybe she just wanted the opportunity to tour with him. It's, a legend. But let's talk about our feature album of the day. And this soundtrack is, listen, if we're gonna go and do it, Dustin, let's do it big. Let's do the biggest best-selling soundtrack of all time ever, over 45 million and still growing worldwide. This won album of the year. At one time, 3 singles in the top 20 for this artist. I think everyone knows who I'm talking about. We're talking about the Bodyguard soundtrack, which was released in November of 1992 and spawned mega singles. Maybe one of the all-time biggest singles of all time is I Will Always Love You, the Dolly Parton cover. Spent 14 weeks at number 1. The cover, a lot of covers on this album, by the way. The Chaka Khan cover, I'm Every Woman, I Have Nothing. These were the 3 songs that all time to get in the top 20. The only female artist to do that. The great Whitney Houston, man. And this album is a humdinger. It's great. I mean,
humdinger. Yeah. We're covering The Bodyguard. I thought we were covering My Bodyguard with Matt Dillon. A totally different movie.
I like that movie with Chris Makepeace.
Not much of a soundtrack, but good movie.
Not much of a and who was the bully?
Oh, that's I don't know who that guy is.
Oh, he's in every. Oh my God!
I don't remember. I remember what he looked like. He was jacked, but I don't remember.
He's a big guy. Yeah.
Well, the Bodyguard guy, he's been in a bunch of stuff. I forget these guys' names.
Yeah, it's the same here. But I will always. I Will Always Love You is, I think, the signature song of the album. I mean, I remember in 92, 93 when this song came out, it was everywhere. It was this song and the Meatloaf song, I Would Do Anything for Love, but I Won't Do That. Those songs dominated the radio. And this is like when people listened to the radio. There was no satellite radio. This is what people listen to.
Kids, you know what that is? A radio? You know what that is?
They listen to FM radio.
I made it sound like this.
On stores.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's produced by David Foster, and she took this beautiful country ballad and turned it to a power pop gospel song. And it's really one of the all-time classics.
Yeah, it's a great song. Dolly Parton wrote this song. A little more partial to Dolly just because I love Dolly. But this, we'll get into the Whitney Houston stuff. But I definitely, this is a great soundtrack. It's not for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
I think I had my period at about 4 songs in. But
wow.
Yeah, it's great, and she's got I think probably one of the most beautiful voices I've ever heard. But it's not something I'm gonna turn on. It's something, and I'm not. It's just not something that I'm drawn to. But I think she's got a beautiful voice, and the movie was the movie's kind of
I like the movie.
I like a Bodyguard, so it's like you get that whole world. Like you've done that stuff. Did you ever have a Whitney Houston you had to take care of? Did you ever fell in love with somebody that you were protecting? Yeah,
yeah. It was Bruce Valance, and
it was a short romance, but
who's just like the exact opposite of Whitney Houston in every conceivable way.
But here's the thing with you, Jeff. Like you have a very and I am too. I'm very broad with my music, but I don't know. It's like certain times, just because it's beautiful doesn't mean that I like it. You know what I mean? I think Celine Dion has a beautiful voice. It doesn't mean
I love Celine Dion.
But of course you do. But it doesn't mean I like it. Like I just feel like I don't know. Like it's just weird. It's just Adam. How do you feel about like this album and stuff? How does it affect you? Because you're like a punk rock guy. Like I'm curious.
Yeah, I was driving around listening to it, and I listened to music really loud in the car, and I got really self-conscious. When I got to I'm Every Woman, and I'm stuck in traffic, and I'm just like, oh, I hope my windows are up right now. I'm trying to lower the volume.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know, man. I must have like I'm in the gym listening to this. I must come across like I'm the biggest queen in the gym because I love I Have Nothing, and I'm like nothing. Because I think that song radiates, it stays with me. It was nominated for Best Original Song
It's great. It's great music.
Such
man.
a good song.
It's good music. And I mean, you know, I'm not a huge pop guy anyway, but I love her voice. And, you know, and she's probably one of the top 5 tragedies in music, you know, and we should still have her. And like, you know, it's funny how we went from last time it was, what's her name?
Amy Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse. And then we go, and then we're going to Whitney Houston. So it's like, I feel like we have a theme here with like, you know, these amazing women and, you know, that kind of had these horrible tragedies. But no, it's great. It's angelic. I like, and everything she's saying was phenomenal. I mean, she sang the national anthem. Nobody's ever sang it better than her.
Right.
Like, she's
the number one hit single with it.
That voice is just phenomenal. Like, and it, you know, and there's some cool arrangements on this album, I think. But yeah, and she takes the Dolly Parton thing to this other level of intensity. Like you feel it when she's singing, I Will Always Love You. I mean, it's hard.
It's a different song.
It's a different song.
It's a different arrangement.
You well up. Like it's a whole nother thing. Like if you've ever been in love, if you've ever looked at somebody and said, I love that person, this song will make you feel that. Like when you're hearing the song, you will think of that, you know, that 9th grade crush, or you'll think of that, you know, girl that got away. So it's like this is that song that really kind of resonates, that feeling of love. Like when there's love songs, and this is another level of love song. And when you hear it, when she sings it with that angelic voice, your whole body tingles. It's good stuff.
This is going to make me sound like a Mo, but I mean,
you are a Mo, but we love that about you.
But I'm thinking, you know, to me, it's like the song of internal love.
Oh my gosh! You're a romantic. You're a romantic.
Don't say that to me.
You are. You're the guy. You put the candles in your car, like with your with your wife. I hear your material. I know what's happening.
Okay, how about this song? You know, Dustin, I was thinking about you during the song. You were an Elvis Costello fan, yes?
Not a huge one, but yeah, I respect him. I've seen him live. He's great.
Yeah. I think a really good cover. Curtis Steiger's cover is "What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding."
Yeah,
did you like that?
Yeah, that was good.
It's always a great song.
The album's great. Yeah, it's got some good covers and stuff. And then just not something like kind of like, you know, with Adam. I think we're similar. You know, we're not cranking it up. Like we're different than you. We're not like, you know, singing it in the gym like you. Like
I'm singing this shit in the gym.
You hear this?
I'm the queen of the night. I'm that bad, but yeah, it's just like, oh my god, like, you know, and I'm putting my hand on my hip like this.
You are
just like this.
I would. Yeah, I think that's you. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say this is an album you hear in the dentist office.
Ooh, Adam hit low on that one, didn't he?
I don't think it's a bad album. It's just it's not my kind of music, but it's
it's not the Clash. I understand.
I think I really struck out with this album with you guys.
You always strike out. That's the part of the show. Pat Benatar, Whitney Houston. You force us down this road, and it's good. It expands ourselves.
Pat Benatar. I don't know.
Dude, we're appreciating it. It's just like, but it's okay. It's okay to respect it. Not appreciate.
She influenced other artists, I think.
Sure.
Or at least she's like
no
like
Mariah
the song
Carey without her. Are you kidding me? Come on.
Probably just making fun of Queen of the Night a little bit, but it's a great up-tempo pop rock dance song, and it reminds you almost exactly of In Vogue's "Free Your Mind." Remember that song?
Yeah,
great song. Janet Black Cat, you know, like these are the songs that come to mind when you think about that. But there's also some weird stuff on here too, like Jesus Loves Me, you know, which is basically a Christian hymn.
Yeah, it's like a remix of Jesus Loves Me. It's a guy going wicked, wicked, Jesus, wicked, wicked. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
You have an interesting combination of Kenny G and Aaron Neville on here.
That song's pretty good. I'm a Neville dude. I like, speaking of beautiful voices. I mean, nobody's got a prettier voice than that dude. For a dude, I mean, come on, that's one of him and Roy Orbison have the prettiest voices I've ever heard.
Love Roy. I mean, come on, we know that, man. From when we did Wilburys, he has my favorite song. It's like
they remind, like, just, you know, there's very few men have these beautiful voices.
It's angelic.
Yeah,
they have like that angelic voice, you know. Sure. And it's really weird coming out of Aaron Neville's body.
Yeah, a big old dude, got a birthmark on his
looks like
face.
he's the bodyguard, right?
Yeah, he does.
And
you did
he
not
just
see that
sings
coming.
these tender, beautiful, beautiful song. And along with Kenny G, everyone makes fun of Kenny G, but he plays beautifully.
He does.
He's great.
Do we have any Bodyguard comments or Whitney Houston comments? Twitch people, talk to us about Whitney Houston. How do you feel about the Bodyguard soundtrack?
White Hot Chick says it does seem like more of a chick album. I should know. I
feel like that's a dude.
Subtle, a little subtle
White Hot Chick. That's
chick.
Totally a dude. You know that's a dude.
Let me at least fantasize for a second, can you, Dustin?
What is that? Is that you, Jeff? You know, I feel like that's you're doing a side thing on the side there. Anything else? No. Okay, we'll get back.
Adam like set you up like no.
We have 15 comments. No, just some dude saying it was a chick album. Yeah,
okay,
very
we got somebody
insightful.
asking.
Yes, what do you got?
Abora FM asks, y'all talked about Shaft yet?
No, we haven't talked about Shaft yet.
Well, you know what? I'll bring it out next time. I have a lot of Shaft albums. There's only, I guess there's 3. I guess I have 2. But yeah, I love Shaft, Curtis Mayfield, all that kind of music. But Isaac Hayes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that kind of music. So I will definitely talk about Shaft. Maybe next time I'll bring out my Shaft albums. But right now we're talking Whitney Houston.
It would have been funny if the sentence would have just cut off. Next time I'm going to bring out my Shaft and the album that gets dropped.
My
show would have taken a whole different tone.
Probably get more viewers, I'll tell you that, or less, whatever.
I think we had talked about Joe Cocker. He's on this album with Sass Jordan. They do a song called "Trust in Me." You don't like him?
I you said cock. I was doing my Beavis and Butthead. Right. He said cock.
Lisa Sanfield is on this album. She has a really good, I think, a good disco song in "Someday I'm Coming Back."
Was this Cocker's last song, or was this before this? Yeah, this was after Officer and Gentleman, right? Yeah, way after. Yeah. So
I don't think it's way after Officer and Gentleman. That had because this is what 92. So right. So when did Officer and Gentleman come out?
That's mid 80s, man. At least that's mid 80s. Yeah.
Mayonnaise.
Huh?
Oh, I'm getting mayonnaise.
What? Mid 80s? Is that what's my?
No,
what's
I'm saying mayonnaise. Louis Gossett Jr. calling Richard Mayo.
I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, because his name. Okay, I'm sorry.
Mayonnaise is the way he said it.
Yeah, nobody knows what we're talking about right now. That's that's how old this
right
movie is. Nobody knows.
1982.
Yeah, that's way back.
82?
Half these kids weren't born yet. Yeah,
that movie,
absolutely.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's old.
To me,
that's old ass movie.
Kind of
I got it on VHS. That's how old it is.
Jesus Christ. I didn't think it was.
Yeah.
Wow.
Time flies when you're in a Camaro, right?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Then there's another, like I said, another cover of on this album, the Chaka Khan song, "I'm Every Woman."
I feel for you.
Yeah. Written by Ashford and Simpson. Great. In fact, in '99, Whitney and Chaka did this on Divas Live. I watch all this shit.
Not Chaka from Land of the Lost, right? No, Chaka Khan. Okay.
Chaka Khan. I love Chaka Khan. Oh, man. I always thought she was really hot.
Yeah.
Am I just weird? I mean,
You're weird. We like that. She's hot.
I always thought she was really pretty. And then I just saw something recently with Chaka Khan that where, she's just a real pioneer. I mean, she talked about a woman who paid her dues. Christ. "Run to You" was another big hit off of this. It kind of gets lost because of like the big 3. But this was a song that spent 6 weeks in the top 10, top 40. I'm sorry, top 40. So when Casey Kasem would do his countdowns for 6 weeks, you heard "Run to You."
Yep. Nobody knows who that is either. It was a guy.
Casey
nobody
Kasem?
knows Casey. Not on this. Nobody in this crowd. Nobody knows Casey Kasem.
Ponderous. Fucking
Casey
ponderous.
Kasem.
Do you remember? Did you ever hear the outtakes of him on the American Top 40s cursing?
No, is that funny?
Oh, that's a great one that went around.
"I'm Casey Kasem. This is your top 40. Do your Casey Kasem. What do you got?
Me?
Yeah.
I sound like Rocky Balboa. I'm going to start doing Casey Kasem.
Well, I'm trying. "I'm Casey Kasem. This is your top 40. No,
there's no way
try.
I can do
Just
it.
give it a shot. Try, dude. Come on.
I'm Casey, and this is America's Top 40.
That's not bad. Adam, do you know who that is?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you try yours. What do you got?
How about any of those listeners?
I don't know.
Wait.
Do they know who Casey Kasem is?
No, they don't. But we're still doing it. Adam, what do you got?
This is Casey Kasem with. All right, that's. I'm good. But he did that. He had that
I
clip
think that was
with
Jack Kasem, his brother.
I'm Casey Kasem. I love it. Anyway, sorry guys.
He had that.
Have fun. We gotta have fun on here. You can't just be talking facts. We gotta go silly. All right.
Oh, he had that one clip where it was the death dedication clip. You ever hear that one about the dog?
That's the
famous one.
Yes,
I'll check it out.
Yes.
I love when people have meltdowns. Like I have meltdowns all the time.
It's a great Dustin, you would love it.
I'm a meltdown guy. I love meltdowns. It's my favorite thing.
It's like,
it made Bill Burr famous. Like when people have meltdowns, it's just so funny. People just
they're coming out of like a high tempo song, and then he has to do a dead dog dedication. He's like, you do these fucking dead dog dedications. It's ponderous, fucking ponderous.
We always got 5 mansions because of dead dog dedications. Hilarious.
But then somehow, like you ever get so mad, like you just like lose thought. But somehow he managed to keep focused. He's
every other time I'm on stage.
Get Dan on the phone. Like he's cognizant enough to like get like the producer on the phone about it. It's such a great riff.
What do you got, Adam?
Oh no, we had Comedy Hub put out the question: who was born before 82 in here? We got an 85, a 92, 2001, 95. We got one before 82. Lived man, 78.
We have one person. One person. This is a history show. This show's like the History Channel.
We should be on the History Channel.
We are educating kids on this show. That's what it is. Well, let's get to the next album. They might know this album.
Yeah.
So, what do you got, Adam?
All right. So we got this one from 2010. This is the Edgar Wright film, the comic book movie, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Nice.
And they actually just put this out on vinyl, I think last Friday for the first time. And I mean, this is fun. Did you guys see the movie?
No.
I see most of it. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's based on a comic book. Or based on a comic series. It's a very hyperkinetic visual film. Part video game, part comic. Great. Great kind of punk. Style music. This is a really fun album too, and we got got a bunch of tracks here from a lot of original tracks here, whether it's the Frank Black track. I heard Ramona sing. The song is from Sex Bomb. We got a couple originals from Beck. We got the great Metric song Black Sheep. And this is a really, really fun album. It's it's very separate in a way from the movie though, just because of how visual the movie is. This soundtrack, in some ways is just, it's kind of different from it, but it's a really great listen.
Yeah, it really is. And I hadn't heard it much. Some of the songs I think I'd heard just, from that have been cut from the album. But it's really great. It starts out, just the first song is fantastic. It's, we are sex. We are sex. That was it.
Sex Bomb. Yeah.
It's like, it has that kind of like, if he's, garage, punk sound.
Garage, yeah.
It looks like somebody recorded it with the freaking cassette player. Like it doesn't even, you can barely hear the vocals over the music. But that's what punk is, like true punk is kind of this like chaos of music and kind of, raw and all that. So really, this is a great, great album. There's some really good tracks on here. And I enjoyed a lot of the songs. I feel like I found a lot of music on this. I think what was it? The Blue Tones? Was that one of the bands on here?
Yeah, Sleazy Bed Track. Yep.
Blue Tones were fantastic. Like that was a band that I want to seek out all their music. Like that's once in a while you hear a song and you're like, okay, this is great. I'm gonna kind of like you guys brought me the Struts and I've been I think I got most of their albums and stuff. And so I kind of want to do this with Blue Tones. I hope they're more successful and have more albums because I thought they were really cool. But yeah, this is a lot of instrumental stuff, and I love Beck. I feel Beck is just one of the best as far as innovative music.
Oh yeah,
doing stuff that nobody else is doing, and then they throw in a little Rolling Stones. I don't know, throw that in there, which is always cool. But yeah, this is I want to. Like I said, I don't think I saw the whole movie. I want to check out the movie a little more. But this soundtrack is great. I thought it was, kind of a celebration of punk music along with some other experimental things. And yeah, I think it's a really, really good listen. I don't know how you guys feel. I don't know. You guys listen to this album? Twitchers, talk to us. All right. What do you got, Jeff?
I liked it. I liked it a lot too. I think as the album went on, I started to dig it a lot more. I think the first song that really stood out to me was the Frank Black song. I heard Ramona sing. I think, first of all, he has such an underrated voice. He really, really does, man. He can sell a song, but this was catchy, and he just sings it great. And then I love how it went into By Your Side, which is a Sade cover. And I love Sade. And this was always one of the really cool Sade. I have no idea who Beachwood Sparks are. You were telling me, Adam, Boom, Baba Boob. What's the name of the
Sex
band?
Bomb.
Sex Bomb.
Sex Bomb.
Yeah, you were telling me that's the name of the band in the movie.
In the movie, yeah.
Okay, I didn't see the movie, so I'm thinking I don't know if Beachwood Sparks was a band in the movie, but it's really a really very cool, like, updated of the Sade song without losing the Sade vibe, which is always important because Sade was a very cool, laid back songwriter. She's so cool. I liked Ocarina. A lot of the songs, like, then, like, I think Dustin hit it on the head when he said a very garage type sound. Yeah. Absolutely. I kept thinking early 80s punk sound to me, like bands that like didn't like quite make it, like, type of
like
sounds.
Dead Kennedys and like just kind of just a really raw sound.
Something like that. Dead Milkmen, things like that. That's why
pretty well. They were actually kind of popular. Dead Milkmen. They had a hit single.
Punk Rock Girl.
For me, Punk Rock Girl, just like Minnie Pearl. Me, Punk Rock Girl.
They didn't have any too much. Not too much after that. I thought Teenage Dream is a good cover by T-Rex. Which is
T-Rex. That's another band I want to lose myself in. Like, that's a band, like, T-Rex is one of those bands you always hear. Like, I feel like I have some music friends and they're always throwing out T-Rex, and I'm like, yeah. And I don't, and then I just don't, I'm familiar with them, but I haven't like gone down a rabbit hole of like their music. And so that's a band. Do you guys, are you T-Rex guys? Cause I'm not that familiar with their stuff. I just,
if you like,
it seems good though. Seems great.
If you like Sweet in the 70s to Twisted Sister in the 80s to the drugs now, it all goes back to T-Rex. Okay. He was like the first glam rocker.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to get into some T-Rex. I'm like looking forward to kind of like finding some good T-Rex.
How the hell does the Rolling Stones fit on this album under my thumb? Where did that come in? Was that a scene in the movie?
Yeah, it's later in the film. And it stands out too. Especially among all these other songs, it just has such a different sound.
It's a real departure from everything else on this album.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing about soundtracks. It's like sometimes it's like when it's interesting that because I kind of seen the movie, but I kind of haven't. So it's like, I need to see the whole thing when you haven't seen it at all. And so I think it's like, it is interesting when you don't see the movie and then you just hear the soundtrack. Like, it might be some scene that fits perfectly with the movie, but as a soundtrack or just as an album, it doesn't make sense. So it's like interesting, because that's the thing, is instrumental stuff will happen on a soundtrack that like comes out of nowhere because it's, it's a movie. They can't always have lyrics. Sometimes it's like a thematic thing where it's like they're playing certain kind of music as they're walking down the thing or whatever. So it is interesting to do that, actually, to listen to the soundtrack before seeing the movie. It's like, it's a different experience.
Right.
And if you know the movie and how, like, you listen to Pulp Fiction after you've seen the movie, everything makes sense, whatever, Kill Bill or whatever, those kind of movies, when you listen to the, music after, it's makes more sense because you have a place for the scenes. Anybody say anything on any Scott Pilgrim guys?
Yeah, we got
fans.
Let's see. Mad Dabbin says, yes, it's the best music battles. Yeah, there's a bunch of, because most of the movie is a battle of the bands. So you do have a lot of battles. And let's see. Happy Mischief says Blue Tones are one of my faves.
Nice. I'm gonna check them out.
We got a viewer who says I agree with Jeff. Wow.
Is it Jeff?
What,
Right.
what do they agree with?
Is it your son? Who is it?
Do they know which one is Jeff?
What are they agreeing with about just the entire, just how he views the album, or?
Yeah. I think how he views the album.
Okay.
Let's see what else. Yeah, we got one of the viewers saying, I always find something new on good soundtracks. And that's, I mean, you know, one of the best parts about soundtracks.
It's true, because it's like a collaboration of artists, and you're just like, you never know. Like, I'm really excited about the Blue Tones. So it's like, yeah, you find, and T-Rex, those are two that stood out for me that I'm not, they're not in my collection. So I want to seek them out.
Yeah.
A lot of covers on soundtracks as well. And a lot of interesting covers too. Like, did you ever hear the soundtrack to Interview with a Vampire?
The Anne Rice thing? No, I don't know if I know that soundtrack. Is it good?
Yeah, Guns N' Roses closes it with a version of Sympathy for the Devil. And sometimes like these songs are only on soundtracks.
Yeah, Gary Clark, he did the Justice League. I think he did Come Together like on there, and it's like
I didn't see the movie, but I heard his version of it.
It like blew it up. Yeah, it blew him up. Like it was like one of his kind of got more eyes on him. But yeah, it's a great cover. Come together right now. Very cool. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you remember Aerosmith did the cover of that in the awful Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band movie?
That's the Bee Gees one.
The Bee Gees and Peter Frampton.
Oh yeah, no,
Robert Stigwood.
Peter Frampton. He was good. We saw him live. That was fun.
We did see him live.
Good stuff. Yeah, this is cool,
Jason
man.
Bonham.
This who else? Beck. I can't get enough of Beck in my life, and that's another one that I wonder where it's like I stopped listening to Beck, because Beck is like. I remember when Beck came out, I loved Beck. I couldn't get enough of Beck, and I always listened to him. And then for some reason, I felt like he kept producing albums. Like he kept kind of putting out good stuff. I just somehow dropped off the Beck wagon. And I don't know what it was.
He's a hard artist to pigeonhole. And I think the problem with Beck was, where do you play him? Is he classic rock? Is he modern rock? Is he pop? He changed so much.
That's what's great about him. He's like Bowie. Like he's all over the place.
But where do you play him? What outlet do you play him on?
That's the thing. I guess there's no outlets. So that's the problem.
That's it. You're right.
Because there's no radio. There's no, it's like everything is specific. So, but that's the thing with artists. It's like, because even somebody coming out, it's like if you're obsessively watching music on YouTube, then you're going to find certain bands. And if you're, constantly updating your Spotify new music list, then you're going to find certain bands. You have to do more effort to find a band now than you had to when we were coming up, because it's like they would be played on the radio and stuff. And so it's a different kind of thing. It's different than how you would find music now as you would before. So I don't know. Where do you find your music? I'm curious, you Twitchers. Do you find all your music on iTunes? Like, how do you find new music? Like, where are you guys finding your new music? Because like we were making fun of the radio, but there was a time when that's what you did. You turned on the radio and they had the top 10 songs or 50 songs or whatever it was. On a weekend, they would do a bunch of songs, but it's like, that's how you knew who was dropping an album, by the radio. Where it's like, so they had a guy called the DJ, and he would say stupid shit. He would take your calls. Maybe you would win stuff. Sometimes I won concert tickets once. You ever win anything on the radio, Jeff? You ever like? No. You ever do the call in?
I tried to call. I can never get through.
I twice I won some stuff. I won tickets to the Spin Doctors. Me and my brother went. That was a big deal. And I was like caller 55 or whatever, one of those.
Oh, that's pretty cool. How
so exciting. Seats? They were good. It was like the 8th row or something. It was good. Spin Doctors were good. It was with they were with the band Screaming Trees. Was that a band? Screaming Trees. Screaming Trees.
Seattle band.
Yeah. Screaming Trees.
I almost lost you. What a great song.
Yeah, they were
Off of
good.
a really good soundtrack, off of the singles soundtrack.
Oh, that's right. Leah, my girlfriend, she loves that. But yeah, it was Screaming Trees and Spin Doctors and like somebody else, some other like Tripping
That's
Daisy, which I think were like a Dallas band or something. But they were good.
That's a really interesting triple header.
Yeah, but Spin Doctors were gigantic for a second. I mean, they had that one big song that
Two Princes.
How's it go?
Come on now.
This is why we're comedians, guys. We don't have much rhythm. But yeah, good stuff. So yeah, this is a good soundtrack. If you guys have any more comments, cool. If not, we will throw it to Adam for the new releases.
All right. Well, Dustin, first I got 3 Beck recommendations. I would say check out The Information. Modern Guilt and Morning Phase.
Okay,
so those are 3 of the so Information was 2006, Modern Guilt 2008, Morning Phase 2014, which he won I think Album of the Year for Morning Phase, which was kind of similar to Odelay. Sea Change, 2000 Sea Change.
Okay, so Morning Phase, what was the other one?
The Information and Modern Guilt.
Modern Guilt. I will check them all out because I love Beck. I really do. I just don't know. You just stop listening to people for some reason. You don't know why. Like they still put out good music, and you're like, why? Like there's so many bands that's like still producing good shit.
Yeah, he also had that record club where he was. I think this is probably like 10 years ago, where him and he would get a bunch of musicians together, and they would cover an album front to back. So he did INXS. He did INXS Kick. I would love
to hear that.
He did the Velvet Underground,
nice.
The Velvet Underground Nico, and what was the other one? I think he did 2 other ones, but they're tough to find. But you can find them on YouTube though.
Oh, cool!
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting.
It's like I love this because this is why I do this show. Mostly just so I can like get more information from music because I just don't know. Just don't know what it is. Very cool.
So we got, all right, let's see. The viewer who agreed with Jeff says it was the Sade cover is what I agreed with him about.
Okay.
Sade. Is that the guy that was born in 77?
No.
Or 78 or whatever. Sade's good stuff. I think I would lean more towards Sade than Whitney. I think that would be because it just feels, I think Whitney's better singer, but there's something, if we're going to go female kind of lovey-dovey music, I'm going to go a little sexier. And that's going to be.
She was definitely.
That's going to go Sade with me.
Sexy.
And I'm just talking about the voice. I mean, she was definitely beautiful, but I would just mean, but just the music itself just has kind of this sultry kind of,
you can see those candles being lit.
Right. Yeah, it's
lit, a couple of drinks, and
it's hard not to be in the mood when Sade's on, even if you're by yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can enjoy yourself with some Sade. All right, Adam, back to you, buddy.
All right, let's see. So the viewers say how they find new music. Spotify recommendations, Twitch DJs, Pandora, and friends. So
okay, I don't have any friends. Twitch DJ, that's cool. I don't know what that is. I'll have to ask our producer Jay about that. But that sounds cool. So yeah, I got to get on Twitch more when we're not actually on the show. So yeah, that's exciting. So yeah, I'm always looking for that. That's fantastic. Thanks, guys.
We're turning people on to a lot of good music.
I hope so.
The show.
I hope so.
Yeah, we turn people on to Pat Benatar. We turn people on to INXS.
Nobody's being turned on to Pat Benatar. But you know what? I did see something the other night where there's a movie, great movie that's called Nobody. With who's the guy from Better Call Saul? Bill Odenkirk.
Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah. Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah. Bob Odenkirk. Yeah. Fantastic movie. If you guys hadn't seen it, it's phenomenal. No, it's like John Wick, but with more humor, and it's so funny. But they do a Pat Benatar song. He like steals a car, and it's like I think "Hit Me with Your Best Shot," and it's fantastically placed. It's really good, really good. So you would appreciate it just for the Pat Benatar. All right, any new releases, Adam? What do we got?
Just right before we go to that, I'm just going to give one more Pat Benatar one. Remember the movie, The Legend of Billie Jean?
Oh my God,
I've
you're
heard
going
of
way
it.
back. You're going way
Yeah.
back. Just that.
Yeah, so
busting
it's
that one
Pat
guy.
Benatar's
Yeah.
Invincible. Pat Benatar, Invincible. That was
Invincible. That's the theme
yeah.
song of it.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's a
That's a good
great
one.
song.
Yeah.
she's good. She's good. She's good. She's just
Should be in Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's all I'm saying.
Let's see. So we got a reissue for John Lennon's first solo album, Plastic Ono Band, double LP, second LP filled with outtakes. So that should be a good one.
Nice.
For a punk record, Gang of Four Entertainment reissue.
Ooh, that sounds good.
That's always a good classic one. And then I haven't heard much of this band. I've heard it's pretty good though. London Grammar, Californian Soil,
What a
which
long
is
name.
which is a indie pop band. I heard some songs pretty good. Might be one to check out. It's a brand new one that just comes out this
Love new
Friday.
music.
Yep.
Cool. Very cool, guys. I'm very excited to be here with you guys today. We had a good time. Thanks for chiming in. We really appreciate the interaction. That was a great show today. You guys opened us up to music. We're all, even though we're the old men on this channel, you keep us young. You give us information, and it's good. And I know we're way cooler than your dads. I guarantee you. So thank you for listening to Dustin's Vinyl. Support record stores. Go out there, get off Amazon, and go actually into the stores and support these people that are trying to, run businesses. And follow us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Dustin's Vinyl. All right, everybody, been great. Thanks, guys. A lot of fun today. Woo.
Bye, guys.
See you
Next week.
Rock and roll. This is a thing called rock and roll, guys. I don't know if you know what this is. The devil horns. We used to do this a lot. It had a lot to do with our youth. All right.
Take care, everybody.
Take care, buddy. Yay.